What's going on, sports fans? It's your boy Josh Williams back again with another episode of the Americans 365 podcast. I continue to stumble through our opening. I don't know how and why, but I am, of course, joined by the front row, Miss Rosine Frangie. How are you doing, Ro?
I am doing so well. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, any of these weekends with the UFC fighters are they are their own moments. Like they're going to cost me a relationship for sure.
Well, what do you mean cost you? That's a handed choice, my honey.
Listen, okay. Okay. Yes. But on top of that, okay. I guess this will be my only thing that I will say on that. I'm the type of guy where I actually like my woman to be involved a lot. Mm-hmm. And sometimes she will pull herself out on purpose just because she doesn't necessarily like the energy or whatever.
Sure.
And so then but it's like I still have to work.
Right.
So I get put in these like awkward, uncomfortable spots where it's like, well, I have to work and I have to keep getting these relationships and getting better. But no one is telling you not to be a part. You know what I'm saying?
it's just part of what you have to do.
Yeah. So. But
no, I understand.
Okay,
I understand.
Do you get it?
On,
do you get my point?
A very similar but different point, I actually have not dated men because they don't like sports. I mean, it's such a integral part of my life, as I noticed for you. Yeah. Even if there wasn't this component in it. Sports takes up a lot of my time. I mean, I always say the true loves of my life are my son and sports. And if somebody doesn't choose, because you have to have hobbies, you can look at each other all day and you can both be very, pretty, attractive. But after the sex gets kind of not new, you have to like to be around each other and like to do the same things. Like if you both like to eat, awesome. If you both like to bowl, that's huge because you know what? Those commonalities are what keep people together. Yeah. If you're movie buffs, you have to have that. It is so much more than attraction because that fades. But that mind thing, like getting up and you can't wait to go tailgating together. Yeah. That's crucial.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess for you as a woman, it would be a little bit easier. As a guy, George, I know, can probably attest to this too. Like, it's so hard to find a woman that actually is into sports or is really into sports because I've dated girls that, I love sports. I love it so much. And then the second they start dating me, it was like, hold on, fool. Like, you in every season.
They're like, who's Brett? Favorite.
Yeah.
It's not as easy. You got to understand, a lot of these men, they think, they'll say they know sports and they say they'll love sports, but then again, I'll have the Julio Jones.
Oh, God, that's still...
And for everybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, there was a guy that pretended he knew sports. I asked him who his top wide receivers are. I gave him mine first, and then I heard him over the phone because this is over the phone. And I hear a... So he's clearly Googling this shit. Like, my man, you're Googling this shit? And I gave him a large time span, so he could have chosen anybody. Then he goes, I can't believe he wasn't in your top 5. I mean, what kind of football fan are you? And I'm sitting there in distress, like, who did I leave out?
Who did I miss?
He goes, Julio Jones. And I gave him a moment to kind of collect himself and just to rescind it, right?
No.
And I'm like, yeah, Julio's sick. I mean, he's like, yeah, Julio Jones is going to be one of the great. He doubled down.
Oh no.
The double down is what killed it.
So I ghosted him, you guys, and I still feel bad about it. And actually, I checked my Instagram a couple weeks ago, and he re-requested me. I'm just letting him sit in that purgatory.
Do it. That's ridiculous. Yeah, no, I mean. It's as simple as this right here. I love women who love sports, and it's growing up and getting older, I just don't think I could be with a woman that didn't have some understanding of the game. But not even just some understanding, but like you said, was willing to venture out, maybe play sports herself, golf, bowling, things like that. I got to see the competitive side of you. And ever since I got Cameron, my fiance, into sports betting, wow. I mean, I don't ever have to feel bad about
anything.
Here's the thing. We watched NASCAR this weekend. We've never watched NASCAR.
Wow.
I don't even like NASCAR.
I watch NASCAR.
But she bet on NASCAR, so we watch NASCAR. It's actually not that bad.
Wow.
You've got to get into it. So one of my best girlfriends, she moved to South Carolina now. She was a top casino marketing host at Aria and also at Cosmopolitan, but her clients were all drivers. And so she took me to NASCAR. We went in the helicopter. She was very good friends with Denny Hamlin and his family. So they dropped us off, and we were in the pit. I will tell you two things. I am the first Arab that's ever been to NASCAR. And I knew that I wasn't in Kansas anymore when I was the sole person that didn't have a skull accessory on me.
No, listen, that's hilarious you said that, because I was like, when you said the one person, I was like, the one person didn't have some chew? I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure you were. Even the women.
It was they were looking at me like I was very interesting. It was like that scene in Borat where he sang the Kazakh national anthem in the middle of the rodeo in Texas.
Everybody's holding like they're all saluting at attention.
I hope George Bush drinks the blood of every Iraqi man, woman, and child. But you know what, though? It was great. And after that, because I kept up with it, but after that, I actually became a pretty avid NASCAR fan.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to,
act like you know
I'm not going to jump out of my car and say, go down Hart Trade. Like, it's not me, but I do watch it. I think it's really interesting. And I think Bubba Wallace, actually, for me, changed how I view that sport. But now that Formula One is becoming a bigger deal in the United States, especially in Las Vegas, racing is going to be a bigger part of the sports conversation than it is now by far.
Yeah, the culture here definitely is shifting. I think for me, as far as NASCAR, before we move on, it shifted. I think Jimmy Johnson not necessarily hurt the sport, but him just consistently winning all the time. Like, I was a Jeff Gordon guy, so Jeff Gordon was his teammate, and by and large, actually made a lot of money off of Jimmy Johnson. But when Jeff just couldn't win anymore, I definitely didn't watch it as much as I used to, because it was like, dang, Jeff just can't get a victory. So
I think when Nelly brought up Jeff Gordon and the SS Navigation, I think a lot of people kind of were like, who? And then they kind of got into it. You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
That did it for the South?
That did it. The St. Lunatics did it for a jersey anyway.
I hate you so much. All right. So UFC 285 was here in Vegas. Your boy was actually, I was supposed to be cage side, but I was sitting in row V with a boxing champion, female boxing champion, just lost her belts, Michaela Mayer. Really, really nice girl. We sat and we talked. We were sitting in Jessica Panay's section. Sadly, our section, it was a funeral in that section. Literally everyone that was in that section for somebody got brutally beaten. Oof. That section went 0 for 4. So after about the early prelim, it was a mausoleum in my section for a good while. So that wasn't the best part.
Not a mausoleum.
That wasn't the best part.
I have to tell you about female fighters. I mean, I think I'm, all 5'2" of me. I think I'm, a tough girl when I need to be. I've left my fighting days behind. However, don't try me. But I will tell you, when you're cornrowed up, barefoot, with a tank top on and your titties all put down and you are hammering at some girl, I'm not that tough. In fact, I wouldn't even pretend that I would be able to do that. Like, I get through an hour of Soul Cycle, I think I'm the Incredible Hulk. However, watching these female fighters humbles me.
You couldn't do it? You couldn't take off the nails and say, all right, chick, it's your time? Like, today's for you?
With bare, dirty feet? No, it's not.
It's the cage walk for Ro. The cage walk ruins it. She's done after the cage. Like, so is there glass anywhere? Like, what are we dealing with?
Like, you think I have a hard enough time? Like guys now, here's the thing. It's not that they're not attracted to me. It's that when it comes to sports, they get intimidated. If I was a female fighter and I'm trying to get a date, no.
But you know what? You'd actually be surprised, because like a lot of the women in the UFC, like you see them in the cage and it's like, dang.
No, they're not but they're not the Bella twins. You know what I mean? They don't care about extra. They care about their sport. They're very regimented about their sport. They can give a fuck about like the bells and whistles to them because it's a form of respect to the sport.
The second they get out of that cage and they pull that hair back out of them braids, there's quite a few that could, yeah. But you're right. As a guy,
no, don't get
George.
Me wrong. There are some very attractive women in that fight. Like,
Yes.
I mean, listen, she's totally a female crush of mine. But Thug Rose, to me, like, there's just something about her.
I love Rose. She's just so cute.
She's beautiful.
But I will say, as a man, especially if I couldn't, because I can't fight like physically. I'm not even. That's never been my muscle. I will bark to the point of I see you either cower or you get angry. If I see you get angry. Now I got to course correct and try to dissolve the situation, but
that's why he's got me.
Yeah, that, for sure. But I will say, George, if your woman like literally could kill you, like literally, that is not a problem. Like tomorrow, today's your day, I can just kill you with my bare hands. Mm-hmm. Would that be a struggle for you?
Yeah, but I think I'd find a way to like it. I mean, like a woman like that, she's got hers going for her. All right. Everything has gone right for her. And if it hasn't gone right for her, she's gotten her way. Right?
I'll find a way to like it.
Yeah. No, I mean, to be honest, like Alexa Grasso.
Yeah. She's cute.
Yeah. She
was cute in the ring. I was like, oh no, she
is.
Well, look, listen. When I met Mackenzie Dern in Rio, oh no. I was like, okay.
Like every
right.
WWE wrestler.
Prettier.
She's beautiful.
Okay.
Every WWE wrestler? Diva?
Oh yeah, look at the Bella twins.
I can't go for everyone, but I will say there are definitely
whoop you.
there yeah.
First of all, the most beautiful woman in wrestling that was in wrestling is Miss Elizabeth. Let's not get it twisted.
Bar none, end of scene.
Yes.
We all loved Miss Elizabeth. But UFC 285, Jon Jones is back 2 minutes into the fight. Guillotine choke. Cyril Gane, when the UFC guys were here last week on Thursday, we kind of talked about how we saw Jon Jones possibly winning if Cyril Gane had a chance. And I mean, I don't think no one said that this was going to be over fast. Joaquin Buckley actually sat in my seat and messed up my whole feng shui, but I was like, I ain't gonna tell Buck to move.
I would have.
No, he would have moved, but it was like he's sitting and I was like, go ahead.
You're comfortable? Okay.
You can have it, bro. It's for you. But he was actually the only one that said, he thought that the fight could go pretty quickly if Jon Jones like really was on attack. But if he was more defensive Jon Jones, it would go probably the whole 5 rounds. I was shocked. I didn't think Cyril Gane was, just going to be done in 2 minutes. That was crazy. What did you think?
I didn't either. In fact, when we were texting before that, while you were at the fight, I had gone. I wasn't expecting the energy that Jon Jones had. He didn't give him a second to think about it. It was like the pitch clock. He went right for him.
Yeah.
And it was literally, you blinked and you could have missed it. I don't think anybody was anticipating that energy and that readiness. I think that they were waiting to see how Jon Jones was going to move, if he was fast on his feet, if he got winded, threw a round. Nobody expected this, and I'm glad I didn't pay for the pay-per-view.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, it's that was crazy. I thought that was insane, and as you can see on the screen, it literally. Cyril Gane only threw maybe 3 or 4 strikes the whole fight. Like, in really, he missed on a hook, and Jon Jones had him on his back.
I think he was instantly just confused and disoriented.
Yeah. But also, we talked about Alexa Grasso a little while ago. Huge upset. Like, literally, me and Michaela were like this. Like, we could not believe what we had seen. Valentina Shevchenko, the assassin. She's all, and I will say this about both of them.
Valentina's tough, man.
She is, and I waited the entire card to see crisp striking from the two women in the co-main. Probably had the best striking of the entire card. Valentina Shevchenko, like when she's punching, She's right in her pocket.
I think that was the best.
Like,
I think that was the best fight in the whole card.
yeah, I think so too. I think so too, especially, for what it meant, you know what I mean, to get to the fourth round because, look, I had Valentina up 3 rounds and she was winning the fourth round. She was, she was on her way to a unanimous decision.
I had Valentina up 2 rounds handily.
Okay.
I had the third and fourth.
Kind of iffy, a little bit more iffy.
They both ebbed and flowed.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. I just, but as we always say, to beat a champion, you have to beat a champion. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, especially getting into that 5th round too, it's like.
2 things about it. The way Valentina took that loss was very classy.
Beautiful.
Like, it's funny because you wait to see how they react because even if you weren't rooting for them, if they lost graciously, there's a part of you that's like, okay, cool. You got to give it to her. She was very classy. And secondly, when I saw Brandon Moreno in the audience, it really, because
Viva Mexico!
Yeah, and she was the first Mexican-American woman to win.
Yeah.
So that to me, those 2 things, that's sports though, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the actual, the actual event that's happening. But I think I would love to see a rematch with those 2.
Yeah. I think, I think a rematch definitely, they both talked about it, and I'm sure Valentina has a rematch clause in her contract and those things, and neither of them took significant damage. I mean, obviously you're in a fight, so you take damage, but I don't think either of them were injured to that point, so they probably could fight again in the summer, maybe even early fall. So we'll see.
You know what? They're both such amazing athletes.
I loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it. One of the fights I did not love, Cody Garbrandt won a snooze fest versus Trevin Jones. I know you probably didn't see this one.
I caught the tail end of it.
You caught the tail. Well, trust me, whatever you saw, that was the entirety of the fight. It was not. It was a boring fight. Cody did more Muhammad Ali moves than he threw strikes.
Will Smith, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, I mean, and then just move.
Like how?
Like what?
Like how?
Like it's like
do the Lawrence Taylor for me.
No.
Please.
No.
Please.
I did get that. I have that cut up for George, so I'm excited to see.
Please, just once, please.
She loves that way too much. Oh my God. But I mean, for me, the entire card was a little bit disappointing. It was funny because coming with a boxer, she was giving me a lot of takes on just the differences, and she was really explaining to me kind of so much of the footwork is so different, and I was like, oh wow, I never really looked at that like that because I talk to more UFC fighters than I talk to boxers. I have a few boxer friends, but she really broke down like, you have to be committed to every punch when you're boxing. You're not just throwing stuff out there. Like, whereas UFC, like, you can't really fully commit to a jab because if I really put my foot down the way I'm supposed to on a proper jab, I'm going to get it kicked. So it's like you're constantly like thinking about other things. Well,
where boxers are just so focused on the hand movement and the way their opponents are shifting their bodies. With UFC, with any MMA, classification, any type of fight, you're looking at their legs, you're looking at their hands, you're looking at their knees, their feet. Like anything can come at you.
Yeah, 1,000%. Shout out to Michaela Mayer again. Had a great time with her at the fights. But let's go ahead and move on to the NBA. And my goodness. We have to start with this. What's wrong with Ja?
Oh,
not
boy.
Ja Rule. We are talking about Ja Morant.
Are you Ellie? No.
No. Wait, so you actually knew that was R-U-L-E the whole time?
Up until a year and a half ago, and I thought JLo was asking him, "Are you Ellie?" I'm like, is he Ellie? What the fuck?
For years, I always thought that was Are You Ready?
No, I'm like, Are You Ellie?
And like, I sang that, and like one of my friends was like, it's Are You Ellie? And I was like, what?
You and everybody else, by the way. So it's not just us.
I always felt
I was today
crazy.
Years old.
I always felt just like when I figured that out, it was like, oh, this is embarrassing. But You mentioned before that you think that he wants to be the new AI.
I think he wants to be Allen Iverson so badly. The one thing about today's basketball, we talk about old school versus new school all the time, because I think it's important that we have the debates, because if we're gonna talk about a GOAT conversation, or who is the greatest rebounder of all time. Now you can talk about Luka, but if you don't bring up Rodman, I'm not going to talk to you about rebounds. Like, I need you to know so we can talk about different things. So anyways, Allen Iverson, for those who don't know, the youngins, he played for the Philadelphia 76ers for 13 years.
No, I don't know if it was that long. I don't know.
I think he was there for 12 or 13 years. Anyways, AI came from the hood, literally. I mean, one of the most one of the most well-known pictures of AI, and his nickname is The Answer, for those that don't know, was his mom braiding his hair courtside before a game. And that to me shows a lot of things, right? How close they are. Like, that was his norm, and he didn't care. Like, that's who he was. That's who he was before the sport, during the sport. But AI worked really hard. It came to a point he was getting in a lot of trouble legally for different reasons. And what happens is he brought a lot of his guys. He brought the set with him when he got into the NBA. And
most dudes of that era did the same thing.
They did the same thing. And the thing is if that's who you grew up with, that's who had your back forever and ever and ever, yeah, you're bringing them along. What happens is your buddies that are, getting into fights and scuffles and not thinking about, for that moment, they're not thinking about you. They're not going to have to deal with the consequences you have to deal with. So AI had many, issues with law enforcement over the years.
I was going to say brushes with the law. That's good.
But AI was all heart. I mean, if you looked at him size-wise, stature-wise, compared to the other players that he played with, he was smaller, but he was scrappy. And AI is one of my top 5 favorite players of all time, by the way. He had heart in him, and that he hit a point where he realized it's the people around me that are getting me all fucked up, and this isn't good for me. This isn't good for everything that I've done, what I'm trying to build, because what's it all for if at the end of the day, it's going to pay lawyers, I'm in court, I can get kicked out of the NBA. Ja's going backwards. First of all, Ja didn't grow up in no hood, okay? Ja grew up in a middle upper class area, went to good schools, okay? I mean, he didn't go to but he wasn't in the hood, is my point.
He went to a private school.
He did go to a private school.
Yeah.
All right, so and now he wants to be like all thug life and this and that and the third, and he's brandishing weapons on IG Live.
Throwing up Crip signs.
Like, you're throwing up your set, you're brandishing weapons on IG Live at the club. You know what? Stop it. I loved you, man. Josh and I would talk about how John Morant is single-handedly making the NBA electrifying again. Like, I'll give you a pass with those little shitty, things to your eyebrow, whatever, all right? You were doing a lot for the sport. And I don't, and basically, so now he brandished a weapon on IG Live on Saturday at the club.
Here he is at the club. Go ahead, pull it out.
A little fucking BB gun he's got too. Like, I mean, you figured he'd have a strap.
No, not in the club. Look, my whole thing was, first off, what kind of club is this that you got your daggone shirt off in the middle of VIP? Let's start there.
I'm sure it's in Memphis somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's a Memphis club for sure. But then, the girls in the background, it was when you really slow it down, it's like, where are you?
I feel like I smell that video.
Ooh.
Anyway, so he issued, and he'd been getting in trouble before that.
Yeah.
And he issued a statement basically saying, he took full accountability. He said, I'm sorry for what I did. I apologize to my teammates, to the coaches, to everybody around me. I need to do better. I'm going to take some time. and really figure out how to better handle stressful situations. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but he's trying to be AI. And, maybe it just all got caught up with him because it's a lot at once. And I get that he leads a stressful life in ways that maybe I don't get, but we all have stress. I don't brandish weapons, not on IG Live anyway. But I will tell you, it makes me sad. And even like Stephen A. Smith this morning spoke into the camera like he was talking to T. Morant, Ja's dad, and he was saying, like, can't let this happen. He's going backwards. He's a phenomenal talent. And Stephen A. documented AI for the first 10 years. Stephen A. was actually a beat reporter for the 76ers. So, yeah. And he was like, what are you doing, kid? Josh, what's your take on it?
I mean, for me, look, Allen Iverson, Ja Morant, they're two totally different players. We say that Ja Morant is similar to AI just because of the ferocity that he plays with. But he's already dealt with a lot of injury issues, and so he has to get stronger. I'll leave that in terms of the comparisons. As far as everything, it comes down to, you've already you've gotten your big contract. You already got your Supermax deal. You just got renamed as the face of Powerade. Powerade had shut down their entire bottling division, and now they're going to give you, all of this. I know, and look, Nike just gave him his own shoe this year. He had been, Zion has had a shoe his whole career, but Ja Morant just now getting his own shoe. Too many good things are happening in your life to make these kind of bonehead decisions. And, Jalen Rose has talked about it. A lot of the NBA guys have talked about it. You just can't put yourself in these kind of positions. Gilbert Arenas said one thing that he did say on it was that his owner is probably just going to look the other way because in the end, he is your franchise. But at the same time, you're out indefinitely. It started as 2 games, and now they're saying out indefinitely. So we don't know how long Ja Morant's going to be away from the team, and that's truly unfortunate. So.
I think there's a lot of things that he's got to figure out. I mean, a lot of things that we don't know. I mean, maybe there are some other issues happening that are taking place. Maybe there's some like mental stuff that he has to deal with, which we all at some point have had that we need to deal with. So, and I say that out of just humanity. And if that is the case, I wish him all the best. But, I will say this, the sport needs Ja. The sport needs Ja in the worst way. I stopped actively watching the NBA, and for me to stop actively watching any sport, it's a big deal. I watch games here and there, but it wasn't anything that I was dedicated to. Yeah. Now the last couple of years have really changed that for me. I'm not just looking at scores. I want to watch the game. Like yesterday, I was locked in to the Knicks and Celtics game. Basketball is becoming exciting again. Ja's a big part of that. And I want to see him back as soon as I can with a happy Ja.
Yeah. And talking about the Knicks and Celtics, don't look down, but the Celtics have lost twice to the Knicks in a week.
And they also lost to another New York team.
Yes, to the Nets as well.
Yes.
Ro, I again come to you and ask, are the Knicks serious? Can we take the Knicks serious? They've now won 8
I don't think
in a row.
I don't think that I can sit here and say they're not serious. If you've been watching them, they've been gaining momentum. Listen to me, I'm eating shit right now, but happily, because I'll tell you what, it is so good for basketball when the Knicks are doing well.
Yes.
It's great for the entire sport. I am completely shocked at how they're doing what they're doing. You beat, I think, the second team, the number 2 team in the East twice. This last night's game, I don't know if you were watching it, but it went into double overtime.
Yeah.
And I was texting. I'm on the thread with Georgie and with Josh. Georgie is a Celtics fan, and not only did they lose twice to the Knicks, but they lost to the Nets. To me, New York sports, in my mind, will always be greater. So in that way, it made me happy. And it made me happy for basketball because, again, when the Knicks do well, the entire league does better. It makes it more exciting. But you have no choice but to take the Knicks seriously. Now, I never thought I'd say that, but you have to. Now I believe they're number 5 in the East. Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't matter like what anybody thinks. Let the numbers do the talking now.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. George, how do you feel about your Celtics?
I think we're in a great spot, Josh. You don't even need to go any further. Right? We are more than capable of handling the only team that we need to worry about, and that is the Bucks. When it comes time, we've set up our team to just be stout.
So you just dismiss them?
Okay, here. You want to know why I dismiss them? Hey, if you have to rely on quickly to play 52 minutes the whole game, hey.
God bless you.
God bless.
Amazing, right?
Well, Brunson was out, right? Brunson missed the game?
Yes, he was. But let me just tell you one thing, okay? Tell me Jaylen Brown. And that let's just eliminate everything.
Okay.
Is Jaylen Brown not a top 5 player in the league?
No.
Okay.
Top 8, yes. Top 5, no.
I wouldn't even go top 8. I'd give you top 15.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd give him top 8. I would.
So I just want to say balance, right?
Yeah.
He's not a stat sheet stuffer, but man, he plays on ball defense with whoever the stud is.
Yes, he does.
Every single night.
He elevates the entire team.
For a large percentage, too. He does not play it the whole time, but for a large percentage, he's that guy. And he looks so strong, man. The way he bullies people. There's like 2 times last night where I just witnessed him go from the 3-point line and back a defender down and finish like with a post move. And I'm like, who the fuck is this
No,
guy?
you're right. He's a problem.
Like, what?
He is a problem.
Yeah.
Because now I've seen twice now where they've had to have 2 people try and guard him.
Yeah.
And just if your mere presence is taking away from your defense.
And he's not even our stud.
And
I think he is. I look. I'm more afraid of Jaylen Brown than I am of Jason Tatum.
No, you're not.
Elaborate.
1000%. I would because I've seen Jason Tatum fold in too many spots. I've seen him fold like a cheap suit too many times. And when they aren't giving him those calls, like when Jason Tatum is not going to the line 15 times a game, he's a different player. He plays different. He's not as assertive. Like when he feels like, oh, I'm going to get a foul every time I take 2 steps towards the basket, then I'm going to go ahead and attack. But when they're not calling those fouls for him every game, he struggles to get 20. And I look at him a little bit differently. So
Jason Tatum is clutch though. And Jason Tatum isn't just going for the highlight reels.
No,
he's not going for the 3 points. He's in the paint getting points. He's hitting them at mid-range too. And he's quick. He is always there when you need him. I will tell you that. He is definitely reliable. He's clutch. He's not fragile. And he is the backbone of that team. So I disagree with you. I mean, I'm more frightened overall of a Jason Tatum, hands down. Georgie, what do you think?
I just love that you guys just proving my point that they're the hardest team to beat in the East.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
All right. No, just keep elaborating on how my studs are.
No, they're studs, but you see,
he's better than him. No, he's better than him.
We're saying, but that shows you that we're not biased. If we're going to talk about the game, we're going to talk about the game. But I think the Bucks will hand your ass to you on a Tuesday morning without even fucking thinking about it.
Okay, and it'll be a Saturday night, and Giannis will get double teamed starting at half court, and then.
Shoot.
It's every year, guys. You just see the Bucks. Middleton just starts missing the threes that he normally hits, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Well, that's
another piece.
That's
Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday, right? He starts missing the shots that he normally takes, and then Giannis is getting triple teamed because the Celtics have figured him out year in and year out for the last 3 years. Even if the Bucks,
they won a championship.
Even if the Bucks.
He's not going to talk about that.
Okay.
He glossed over that.
Yeah.
I think it was a Mickey Mouse championship.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I mean.
Hey, you beat who's in front of you, right?
Yeah, but I mean, let's just talk about present year. And I just don't think there's any team. I mean, just go based off what Vegas thinks, right? Like,
yeah,
they've been at the top. They've stayed at the top. They haven't wavered. The odds have only gotten better.
I'll tell you this. I can't see any team from the West challenging the Celtics.
No, I think there's plenty of teams in the West that can give
Suns
it a run.
scare me.
Now.
No, but I'm being real. Not from what I've seen lately. I mean, okay, the Suns. Do I think that the Suns have it together enough have they formed that chemistry, that thing, that rapport with and trust within each other as an organization to challenge, to really challenge the Celtics? No, I don't think they can against the Bucks either. Now, I think though they are in the West, I think they are the closest thing to posing a threat. Now, listen, I think it's going to be an Eastern Conference final, an Eastern Conference champion. I do.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I am interested to see.
Who's going to be that? You think Denver's going to be the Celtics? No.
No. I wouldn't think that at all.
Trust me. I wish I could say the Lakers will hand their asses to them. The Lakers are handing their asses to themselves. However, they have been winning without LeBron, but that doesn't say much. I'm just hoping they make the play-in. But if you really honestly, and I hate this, if I'm asking myself honestly, can I see any team from the West challenging the Celtics or Bucks? No.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That's fair. I'm not going to discredit. George has a look at the conference standings. Yeah, right now we've got Denver still holding it down. Memphis is still there, but they just had one of their better players tear his Achilles. John Morant's out. My protege Dylan Brooks is showing up like Stone Cold Steve Austin, getting suspended. The Kings are still there. I'm excited to see the Kings have a home court situation.
Okay, but let's just be real. Do you think the Sacramento Kings are really a force that anybody is scared of?
I'll say this. Right now, the Kings are matched up against the Timberwolves in the first round. Do I think
nobody's scared of the Kings?
Well, no. I'm just like, can they get to the second round? If they play in the Timberwolves, yes, I think they can.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
What I mean? Yeah, I'm just saying.
Tallest midget.
The Kings are the West Coast Knicks.
Dang.
Ooh.
Hey, that's actually fair.
That's a really good parallel.
That's not bad.
I think it's a great parallel.
That's not bad. But I will say this. I will say this. The Knicks, if they get the Garden rocking for real in April, man, listen. That place, it has an energy. There's a difference, especially when it comes to playoffs basketball, because the Knicks fans aren't going to be like, "Oh, you dropped 50, we'll cheer for you." Like, they'll be foaming at the mouth in New York. So, so we'll see.
And it's real. You know what? I mean, as much as I can't stand, it's not the Knicks, it's the Knicks fans, because like I said, they are the Dallas Cowboys fans of the NBA. They're awful. But I mean, the Knicks winning is so good for basketball, and I hope I hope they get somewhere.
I do too. If they get to a conference championship, that would be insane.
Do we think LeBron's going to be out?
Well, I mean, he's out for at least 3 weeks. So
it went from they're reevaluating him in 2 weeks. They push it out to another week.
Yeah.
And they're talking about working out Kemba Walker. So the fact that they're talking about working somebody else out, right?
Yeah.
That's pause for cause.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, they're 2-1 right now without him. Anthony Davis has looked good. Their next games are versus the Grizzlies without Ja Morant, the Raptors, meh, and then the Knicks. The Knicks in LA. So that's this week for them. So I think listen, if they can mess around and go 2-1 in those 3 games, that's a great start. You're 4-2 without him. You can keep the ship afloat. But I say the second, we already talk about it all the time. Anthony Davis, he's Mr. Glass. So
listen, they beat Golden State.
I know they did, and he played well. If Anthony Davis goes down, if he reaches for his back or his foot, the season's over.
But didn't I say that? And I hate that. The Lakers seasons now hinge on whether he's injured or not.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my God, my worst nightmare is him going on a trip to New York and him using the subway. For some reason, I can see him sliding down this blah, 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 blah.
All right, well, we've got to get through some NFL before we get out. Up first, you see I'm rocking my Saints jersey just to stick it to George in the back. Whoa, easy, pause. But
ow.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't stick me like that, man.
Easy. I already said pause. But Derek Carr looks like he's going to be signing with the Saints. We talked about the different landing spots for some of these quarterbacks. I'm still trying to figure out how they're about to sign him, and you guys are in cap hell. That's really my thought process.
The numbers
on it.
came out finally.
Well, okay, where are they talking?
150 for 4 years.
There we go.
100 million guaranteed. And meanwhile, Daniel Jones wants MetLife named after him.
Correct.
Whoa. 100 million guaranteed. And that's in 4 years?
Hold on, I got it. It's
Correct.
right back.
Correct.
4 years.
4
Guaranteed 100 mil.
years.
I've been saying Daniel Jones should have taken the 190 mil that was off. Well, it looks like he's going to get what he's going to get because they're meeting today, actually. But 100 mil guaranteed, 4 years. Let me tell you. Oh, by the way, I want to stop right now. Who said Derek Carr was going to the Saints last week?
You did.
Okay. Now, I think it's going. I know George hates it, but I actually think it's going to be a pretty good fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to tell you why it's an excellent fit? All right. I've been. You guys don't understand how conflicted I've been this morning. I wake up to that goddamn. It was the first Instagram post I saw today. You know, like it's. They knew it, right? You know, I'm attached to all those Saints fan pages or whatever, but it's not his position. If you think he's a QB1 coming in with that signed money and you don't think Jameis Winston is seriously going to battle for that spot, I think you're crazy. I'm extremely comfortable with giving him that cash because, you know, we need to be thinking a little bit of longevity. But I think early on, don't be surprised if you see Jameis Winston, you know, competing. And then depending on how that competing goes, he could look better. He has the repertoire with the receivers already.
Yeah,
that's big.
No, it's big.
But Derek Carr's a better quarterback.
Well, not just that, but you don't pay a man to sit. So we can have all the competitions and, you know, participation trophies that we want. You know, but at the same time, if I'm giving you $100 million, I'm not giving you $100 million to carry a clipboard. So he can compete. You can say he's better. You can say all these things. I wish they would have given Jameis a chance, but I don't think, you know, you're not bringing Derek Carr to town.
Okay.
To, you know what I mean, to not suit up.
So we're gonna cut him. We'll cut Jameis.
Yeah,
we're gonna cut him.
Yeah, it's probably for the best in draft. And you know what I mean, draft a young guy. It
just sucks though that we had him for cheaper, and you know, and I mean, I was fully bought into that next year. I mean, the thing with Derek Carr is, all right, this isn't 2010. All right, my quarterback can't be taking pocket sacks like any Manning brother, especially Peyton.
Oh,
somewhat Eli at the end of the career.
Okay, you can.
But I just can't deal with that in this modern day NFL where I need my quarterback to have a little wiggle
but that's
to
fair.
him.
But you're talking about I'm going to interrupt you because you are talking about the Derek Carr that you saw this past season under Josh McDaniels, which was a vastly different Derek Carr than the season before that. So if we're going to talk about it, don't pull up last year's Derek Carr because that is a Josh McDaniels trash shit fire bag, okay? You have a quarterback now that can read a defense very quickly, that has a very high football acumen, who has a decent passing rating. And you know what? The season before last, his QBR was top 5 at least a quarter of the season. So I'm not really sure what you're agonizing over because every other Saints fan that I know is so happy that they have him and not Jameis Winston.
I just have to. I mean, it's what you've shown me lately. Like, I mean, as much as you don't want to talk about, okay, let's not talk about last year, but that's the most recent reflection of what he is as a quarterback.
So if Mikey, my son, coached Derek Carr last season, you're going to say,
I'm going to say, Mikey, can't you believe Derek Carr missed Devontae Adams for 14 touchdowns this season? Crazy, right? I mean, you did great, Mikey. All right, but let's bring Jimmy G in. Let's do it again. Hopefully
I disagree. I disagree. I think it's what you have around you. Daniel Jones is the perfect fucking example of that. So yeah, we can say, show me what you've done lately, and it's about what you've done lately. And if that was the case, they would have given Daniel Jones $45 million already. But it's not the case. It is a collective of the body of work that you showed. He didn't do dick under Josh McDaniels, but Derek Carr is a better quarterback than most people give him credit for.
Yeah, look.
All right,
we'll see. We'll see how you guys pull it together. But talking about Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones wants more than $45 million a season. I actually I pulled up a few of the top 5 quarterback contracts right now in the league, and you know, number one, you got Aaron Rodgers at $50.3 million annually. Russell Wilson, 49. Kyler Murray, who you dislike, 46.1. Deshaun Watson, 46. And Patrick, Super Bowl winning MVP Mahomes at 45. So he wants more than that in trying to crack into that area. As much as I, again, say that that's incorrect, it still is talking about where that position is going in terms of money. So it sucks, and I hate that he would be the next one to kind of push the goalpost down the field a little further. But it's kind of tough. He's 26 years old.
You know what? At first, I thought that can't be accurate reporting. Daniel Jones doesn't strike me as the type. Well, it didn't anyway. Strike me as the type that would be like, I'm worth $45 million plus. Okay, so he's right and he's wrong. He's right because that's what the market is showing him he's worth, and you can thank Deshaun Watson and the fucking Cleveland Browns. 2, have I seen enough of an does a 1-year improvement justify north of 45 for Daniel Jones? No. Yes, we see that there's room for improvement. I believe what was offered to him was $190 million for 4 years. I'm not sure what the guarantee on that was, but if I was Daniel Jones, $190 million, I'd say, give me $100 million, guarantee me 2 years, $100 million, okay, and get me some fucking receivers. With north of $45 million, you are now you are essentially greasing up your foot to kick Saquon out the door. And you know, what's that going to leave you in terms of receivers? Now, there's talk about Jalen Ramsey, the Giants being a potential landing spot for him. We need a corner like Jalen Ramsey. We need a lot of things, including receivers. How are we going to make a play for D-Hop or Ayuk or Mixon or anybody that's relevant for us and can make big plays down the stretch? If Daniel Jones is commanding most of the salary cap, Look at Aaron Rodgers. How'd that work out for the Packers?
Yeah, I mean, listen, look at most of these teams. You look at the Broncos. That Russell Wilson contract is going to be an albatross in one more season. Like, that's going to be something that they can't get away from, and it begins to tear down the fabric of your team. And, as we talked about, a lot off air, Lamar Jackson to Washington is that is my main reason why I've always said that I did not like it. You know what I mean? Like, for me, honestly, if Lamar Jackson ended up in D.C., I would be excited. I'm not gonna lie.
Congrats.
But at the same time, it would tear down the fabric of my team. It would be cool for a season because we got everybody. But then next season, now we gotta, we can't bring back Chase Young. We gotta make a move on Montez Sweat. You start tearing down what you've been building because you brought in a quarterback. Now, is that quarterback going to guarantee?
But who wins games?
That's what I was literally about to say. Is that move going to guarantee me 5 more wins? I don't know.
Right.
That I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm like 2 wins more or, something like that.
But you know what, though? It's a great incentive for other players to say, you know what? I know this is what I wanted, but I am willing to hold to maybe whittle that down a little bit because now I could potentially see a Super Bowl in sight within the next couple of years. I think having Lamar Jackson as your QB, you are enticing and incentivizing players to want to be part of this new regime. Georgie, do you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, a guy like him brings so many people that you have seen the way the NBA moves and the way people talk like behind the scenes. So I think the same thing happens. There's so many NFL players that love Lamar and at least want to be a part of that. And I think that's the thing that's killed him with Baltimore is that he's just never been able to bring his dudes over. And I mean, any good quarterback in the league these days wants to have his guys. And I think he would, he would help you guys possibly dominate the NFC East in the next couple of years.
I mean,
Get you to the playoffs.
I agree with that, which is why I wouldn't want him to go.
I understand all that. I guess my thing too, and I said this to Ro the other day, my team, we never, ever have our own quarterback. We always are getting someone else's quarterback or someone else's quarterback after they've already kind of used up some of their great years. Like the last quarterback that could have been ours that started to do well on our team more than he had done anything else was Trent Green. And Trent Green got caught up in actually the Daniel Snyder buying the team because we didn't want to make any big purchases because, we're selling the team, whatever. And so we ended up losing Trent Green, who ended up being a franchise quarterback after he played well, was no one had ever heard of him, came on our team and ended up winning like 5-6 games. Like, oh, we might have a quarterback. No, he's gone. He's going to the Chiefs.
Here's what's going to happen.
Rams, actually.
If they end up tagging Lamar, see, this is why GMs and owners really, that is their they don't want to do that, and I'll tell you why. You think a quarterback that feels like they're being held captive wants to win a Super Bowl for you? No. So it's like, we are going to force you to stay here. So now if you're like, all right, if I'm getting this $25 million tag or $35 million tag, either way, you know what? I'm not showing up early and leaving late. I don't like you. You all have made it clear you don't like me. Now, if I feel like I'm being forced to do something for somebody that I don't like, I don't want to do it.
That's the end of it.
No, but that's true, though. You can't have a quarterback feeling like he's being held captive. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, I don't get it. Why don't they just tag Daniel Jones? Why don't they just put the franchise tag on him? Because you want them to be happy to be there.
Yeah.
And so, Lamar, I'm going to tell you, there's acrimony in Baltimore.
Oh, without question.
I think that him going to Washington, as much as I'd hate it, for the NFC East, I'd be really happy for your team because you need it. And he would incentivize players to take less in the same way that Tom Brady did first year when he went to the Bucs. So I think you're underestimating what it could do.
I listen, like I said, if it happened, I would not be upset. I would have a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league. You know what I mean? That you can't discredit any of that. I just don't know. Like I said, for me, I'd much rather, if this is Madden.
Oh God!
No, it makes perfect sense to me.
If this is Madden, I want to have a healthy cap. Like right now, my team, I don't never have no issues with my cap.
Healthy cap, and look at the situation we're in. We're right now. It's now we have no choice but to pay this kid who I like, DJ. That's my quarterback.
Yeah.
But we have a very healthy cap. We let a lot of people go, including Blake Martinez, who I thought was so crucial for the Giants.
Perfect for your team, yeah.
So we had the 4th healthiest cap space going into this, but we're in this shitty situation because of it. So be careful what you wish for, because look at the Giants. So what I'm saying is, you're gonna take Lamar and you're gonna like it. Damn it.
We'll see.
I have one last thing to put on this.
Okay.
The Saints pick up Derek Carr this morning. The lines for them to win the Super Bowl have not changed from when I put a $20 future down on Saturday. It was at plus 4,000. I mean, the news has been up for a couple of hours. The lines have not changed. Josh, I want you to know one thing. If Lamar went to the Redskins, their number would change
drastically.
Just like the Broncos last year with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
How'd that work out?
I'm just kidding. All right, that was it.
That was a mistake.
Let's ride.
But yeah.
Let Russ cook.
All right, so before we get out, $55 million in embezzlement money potentially from Mr. Daniel Snyder. So, Ro, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. The easy way would be for him to just go ahead and sell the team to the hated Jeff Bezos, who I would absolutely love to see as the owner. Or we can try to strong arm the NFL and they keep on dropping nuggets, because this is who's bringing all this stuff to light now. The NFL is like, oh, you ain't trying to sell at a top dollar?
Yeah.
Because the second they get to the owners meeting, the owners are going to be voting. They'll start voting. They'll start bringing Daniel Snyder up again. And the sale price for the Redskins, Commanders, Red Wolves, hopefully, that price tag is going to plummet. You know what I mean? Today,
it makes no sense to me, because now it's going to be like, now you can't leave. Now it's a fire sale.
Yep.
And you are going to sell it for this much. Instead of Daniel, by the way, he took out a loan for $50 million. And he's refusing to say what it was for. That's the crux of the whole situation, or 55, part of it. And when my son is like, Mom, can I have $10 for Roblox? I'm like, what are you gonna get? Like, so he's just like, no, I'm not gonna tell you to Congress. So, and his lawyer's like, no, I'm not telling you either. Okay. So now, instead of like being happy and elated that even though his name has been mud, he's put the team's reputation through fuck shit, okay? He can get top dollar for this organization. He is like literally growing roots in his corrupt position. What's going to happen is the owners are all going to vote and say, now you don't have a choice in this.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that he's just not saying, please and thank you, Mr. Bezos, here you go. Would you also like a hand job?
Well, hey, did you see that Jerry Jones and Jeff Bezos met up in the Virgin Islands?
Don't tell me that.
Yeah. They're the Twitter sleuths that track private planes tracked that both their planes met up in the Virgin Islands at the exact same time.
It's because they're both lizard people.
Hey, don't be saying that about Mr. Jeff
Bezos.
Bezos.
That are part of the Illuminati, and they're like, they went to go check into their lairs to laugh at all of us still buying Zeke jerseys. Not me. Speaking of which, really quick, apparently if Tony Pollard doesn't get traded or taken up by another team, they're hitting him with a franchise tag tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard that, and that's stupidity to me.
Why?
Oh.
No. And he'll get over that ACL.
Not ACL. Remember, it was like broken leg or
That's
something.
right. He'll be. I don't know. I think he'll be just fine. They just don't want him going anywhere else. It's not about him having him play. It's we're gonna hate. Because they have them. Well, actually, they don't have the money.
They don't have
because
the money.
because of Dak, right?
Yeah.
But I think right now their roster is still sick. And they do dick with it, right? But they're like, we're gonna franchise tag you because we can't take the risk of when you do get healthy, you are playing for anybody else. And I think that's it.
George Bijan Robinson. I thought that was their pick. Like, that would have been the smartest move. Reset your running back room.
Yeah.
With another young stud.
Already.
Ran a 4.47. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have, because he's not supposed to be a top 10 pick, so he's going to slide. If you need to move up to go get him or whatnot, like, it just didn't, I would see that being the move. But if they franchise Tony, Zeke's gone, so that's that.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Zeke is the equivalent to Mark Ingram. Like, just killer first half of the career, really high hopes. And then he's just like a friendly guy now. You know what I mean? Like, he's a vibe guy. So, like,
he's a vibe guy.
I wouldn't mind him for the Saints. If we're going to get rid of Jameis, bring Zeke in there. He's going to add a little swagger to Carr because that's another. He just had no swagger. You don't want him in
New Orleans. The way that boy's going to eat, he'll be full of beignets on the field.
No, he's the goal line, just pound it in there. You know what I mean?
He's not going to pound anything except food.
Him and Taysom Hill in a little, like, old school Full House formation.
Nobody's scared of Zeke.
Okay. All right.
Zeke. Look, listen. Zeke, when he's still on his game, still a very dangerous running back. I just feel like
okay.
You're
right.
He's not explosive. I think that's the difference. I think
he plays best at center.
100%. That's why we just use him for strictly pass blocking at running back, and we hand it off to him every once in a while.
Oh my!
He cleans people up though, dude. It's offensive lineman back there.
Yeah, he gets pancaked as the offensive lineman. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Like, wait, the defensive lineman pancake the offensive lineman.
Yes.
I don't know that happens very often. That's pretty bad. Man, but shoot, I don't know what the Cowboys do. Truthfully, if they do decide to franchise Tony Pollard, I don't know what that number would be. George, do you know what the franchise number is for running backs?
30. Oh, no, that was quarterback. It was 32 and a half, right?
That's the low level. But remember, if you get that exclusive, it's 50-something.
And I think it's way lower for Tony Pollard. I want to say it's peanuts. I want to say it's like
10.
14 million. Oh, it's 10.
10?
Yeah.
Oh, franchise him.
Exactly.
Okay, girl, I thought it was like 20, and I'm like, no.
I thought it was 14, so I thought
really?
It was
10?
Yeah.
Ooh, Adrian Peterson is gone. Oh my goodness.
You will not bring up the good name of Alday. You'll not besmirch the name of all day. All right.
You used my besmirch. I love it. Don't you be going besmirching my good name. All right, we can go ahead and talk a little bit about the combine. We talked about Bijan Robinson.
Yep.
He did nothing to hurt himself in the combine. You know, I don't know if he did every drill, but he ran the 40 and ran a 4.47. So not blazing fast, but also not slow. Offensive lineman Broderick Jones ran a sub 4.5 40, which is just, ran a sub 5.40, which is crazy for an offensive lineman. While Wanye Morris hurt himself, looked like his dad, like he got shot by a sniper in his hamstring.
I did not see that one.
Yeah, it was bad. And so my question to both of you is, should offensive linemen have to run the 40?
Oof.
Like, even defensive linemen, I don't even know if it's necessary for like defensive tackles.
I think it's good to see how you measure up against your competition. I think it's good. Like, if you had Saquon and CMC out there running competitively,
Yeah.
like for every position, just to see how they're doing against the youngins and newbies, I think it's a good meter. I think it's a good gauge. If I'm a scout there, if I'm a head coach, and I want to see what you got, I mean, like, yeah.
What is this?
What
y'all got going on?
Wait a minute. We got Red in the building. Red, going on,
I'm
brother?
trying to get my 2 questions. I got promised 2 questions, man.
Oh, okay. All right, you go ahead and sit right there, Red. You can sit right there.
Two questions. Who gave you 2 questions?
Say I got 2 questions. I mean, I talked to him the other day. I come in to get my 2 questions. There you go. How you doing? Going left. So I'm George. All right, I'm Red, dude. Red, nice to meet you. If you can align your belly button.
I'm Ro Red. Nice to meet you.
How you doing? I'm Red.
I'm Ro. Nice to meet you.
Okay, I didn't expect no one else to be here.
She's the coach. This is my host. We were co-hosts.
Oh,
yeah. That's right. All right. So Red,
what's going on?
Hi.
This is my guy, Red. Red, what? First off, who are your favorite sport teams?
The Broncos and the Lakers because of LeBron James.
So you're a LeBron fan, not a Lakers fan.
Oh, I hate the Lakers.
All right. No, I mean, a lot of people feel that way. I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm okay. So the Broncos, why?
Peyton Manning.
Oh yes, I love Peyton. I'm a huge Giants fan. I'm a diehard Giants fan.
Okay,
but I love the Manning family.
Me too.
All right, good. What's your favorite sport?
Football.
I love it.
Football. Do you get to have you been going to the Broncos games now that you're Red? Because I mean, now look, we're putting this out there for the world to see. The Broncos got to bring you in. You're now the new mascot for the Denver Broncos. The Bronco doesn't. You're
gonna help Russ cook? Go ahead.
Honestly, I even hit up Jared Judy. He ain't hit me back yet because I seen him with some other influencers. But I do want to work with the Broncos. You know, I rock with the Broncos tough. And it's my squad.
I think they need your energy. I think that you should definitely.
I'm ready for them.
They're ready for you.
I'm ready for the Broncos.
You've got to troll. Listen, so now that I know this, because I do remember that you're a Broncos fan, you've got to troll everyone in your division. So you got to go to games like inside the division and just mess with the fans.
There you go.
1,000%.
They're going to ban me. I get banned from everywhere.
Shoot, take it.
Who's banning you?
I got banned from Walmart, Home Depot.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I'm
Wait,
banned.
why'd you get banned from Walmart?
Trolling. I literally come in there and just mess with customers, and it's not allowed. But I mean, I'm just having fun.
Are you walking around in gray sweats and bare feet? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm just maybe touching them a little more than I should, or saying something derogative, like I'll just take their girl from them. You know?
I mean, that's not nice.
See,
it's good stuff though. Listen. You've exploded everywhere. We look. I've learned so much from social media from you. You know what I mean, especially from our conversations in Rio when you really sat down and broke down what you do and how you've basically put everything together. I'm so thankful that you were able to shoot through. You know what I mean? Just because
you promised me in Rio, I didn't forget. I'm in Vegas. He said, "Hey, you come on. I'm gonna give you a couple questions." And it's my second podcast ever, and it's dope in here too. This is dope as shit.
Georgie's cool. The whole team here is really nice.
Okay, it's super dope.
Yep. Now, all right. So the Lakers. Well, LeBron is your guy.
LeBron.
So is LeBron the GOAT?
Honestly, yes. Of all time, I'll take a bullet. I'll die for LeBron.
He said, "I'll take a bullet."
You take a bullet for LeBron.
And my kids, the only people.
Yeah, my son, yes. LeBron, hell no. I would take a bullet for nobody other than my son. A possible close second is Eli Manning.
Oh my God, you're taking a bullet for Eli?
I'm taking a bullet for nobody. I'm just kidding, just my son. But so you don't think the real GOAT debate is Kobe Jordan? You think it's LeBron Jordan?
I honestly built my respect for Kobe after he passed because I was always a LeBron fan and didn't want to see who Kobe was because of LeBron. But
That's a really honest answer.
I found out how great of a father he was. Being a father, how he learned 12 different languages. He never missed a practice. And he was still flying out. And I'd be calling myself busy. Like, this man did it all and still was one of the best to do it. So I like Kobe.
Yeah.
I like Kobe a lot.
How can you not? I think as a sports fan in general, if you don't like him, you got to respect him, though.
That's what you got to earn.
Yeah.
You got my respect.
Now, do you watch any other sports outside of basketball and football?
UFC.
Obviously, the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, our guy Jamal
Second favorite sport.
took down Glover Teixeira. What did you think about the fights, UFC 285? We'll go ahead and get you out on that.
It was tough. You talking about the Jones fight?
Yeah, just the whole card.
The whole Jones. I love the whole card. Honestly, it was a lot of energy. I didn't expect it to be a good card because of the names. I was like, it's going to be all right. Jones carrying it. But the surprise is the shock. Shevchenko got smoked.
Man.
So wait, you think she got smoked?
No, I'm saying she got choked out.
Yeah.
I think that was by far the best fight on the card.
Literally.
By far.
What did you think in terms of like how many rounds? Like who was winning the fight? Do you think at that point?
I would have gave it to Shevchenko.
Okay.
She's super versatile and
Yeah.
she can do everything. But when she got caught and she got that back, oh my God, I didn't think it was possible.
See, that's the thing. You can win round after round, but if you get caught, it's over.
She took that bad wheel kick, and I was like, that was a
Yes.
mistake. Like I literally said that to Michaela. Was like, oh, that's a mistake. And then I looked up and I was like, ooh, she got 50 seconds. Like, because if it would have been closer to the end of the fourth, I would have been like, all right, she can probably get through it. But she had like a full minute to choke her. And she was not trying to tap. She was not trying to tap.
She was.
I gave her a lot of respect. Like, she was like, you have to put me to sleep because I'm not going to tap in here. Yeah. So, that was pretty
That fight
good.
was good. Bo Nichols was quick.
Yeah.
You hear about the no contest they trying to give him. They said he kicked them in the butt. I mean, in the stuff private, and then took him down. So it should be a no contest.
Oh, come on. That's not a no contest.
Yeah, same thing I said.
Wow.
And then Jones surprised me. I didn't even really get to see him fight.
Yeah, I didn't have him winning.
I didn't see the punch. No, I'm saying surprised me that I didn't see a punch. I wanted to see him get tested a little bit. Like
he look, Cyril Gahn didn't. He only threw.
Soft.
He threw 3 strikes, I think.
Soft.
And nothing was of consequence.
Nothing.
Soft, bro.
Right.
Yeah. I think I definitely think Jones can probably run that division for a little while. I'm interested to see what he does with Stipe because that's going to be an actual test. But after because Stipe he's not going to get out wrestled.
I don't want to.
He's a grapple. You know what I mean?
Hear it. Stipe is super old. He's gonna get demolished. Like what's the name?
Yeah.
Like the heavyweight champion did him already. That's the easiest fight Jon Jones ever did.
Dang.
Now what
really?
I'm hoping
so?
in 2 years, when I'm telling y'all now, I'm saying it on American Fan, it's gonna be Jon Jones versus Jamal Hill for the #1 pound for pound in 2 years.
You don't speak it into existence.
It will happen.
I love it.
It's 1,000. Jon Jones, I love him to death. And that's going to be a big test for Hill because he's going to wipe through the division. Not to get off subject, I'm thinking about going to Australia to the Usman fight if they give me my social media credentials.
Yeah, look, we're working on it. We're working on it. Did you talk to Gavin?
I was going to hit him today because it's Monday.
All right.
From Saturday,
all
I
right.
got with him. I mean,
All right.
I got the message. I'm going to message him, and then we're going to work from there. But if I get that, I'm in Australia.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
There it is, brother. Well, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for coming in today. You know, from my girl, the front row, to ImRedd, I'm on my phone. This is Josh Williams with the American Fan. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for coming in.
He owned into his word, man. I got outside, guys. Let's go, man. I appreciate you.